4 rounds have come and gone in the Novice Championship, and I think it's pretty clear that unless Mitsubishi at this point manages to get a boatload of points, I think Citroen is probably going to keep outscoring us on pretty much a round-to-round basis, as long as they keep finishing in the points. And Subaru looks to pretty much be clearing away from Peugeot, so let's now head over to round 5 in South America, as we are now at Rally Argentina. Let's go to work.
Rally Argentina is the highest of the WRC events, staged up in the Andes on twisting roads littered with rocks. Argentina is also famous for its water splashes. Large crowds gather to watch the drivers blast through riverbeds, but high speeds can also mean spectacular crashes.
And of course we get the rally history. Huh. 61 river fords. Interesting. Okay. And the environment, yep. Pretty much all gravel. The location? Around Carlos Paz. And let's get to it. I should probably also go and turn the notifications on my phone off as well, because I felt my Fitbit vibrate. I'll be right back. Don't need to do the shakedown. So the only real adjustment I made was to my co-driver volume, because, well, I noticed in 2 of the videos I already recorded that was a little bit loud, so I figured I would turn that down just a bit to make sure that it wasn't overruling my voice, if that makes any sense. Anyway, enough talk. Let's actually begin the rally with El Reposo 1. 6.5 kilometers, current best time, the default 10 minutes. And let's begin in the Andes.
Three, 2, 1, go. Through chicane.
And so we begin
2 right.
on the
3 left.
high altitude
5 right.
Andes roads,
Over crest and care over top.
and already off to
4 right.
a smooth start.
4 left.
I doubt we're really going to be getting above the triple digit
And care through chicane.
figures too often here.
2 left.
But what I also imagine is there are going to be plenty of roads, of course, that will make us wreck
4
our
left
car,
into junction left.
which probably is going to happen at least once or twice,
3 right tightens.
considering we are on the rocky gravel surface. As I run into the tape and
5 left.
have 2 wheels up on the banking for good
4
measure.
right rocks inside. 3 left tightens.
So 6 seconds clear of Carlos at the moment,
right.
with Petter Solberg third, and it looks like it's Ravan
6
Pera
left.
in the leading Peugeot at the moment.
3 left into 4 right. 2 left into 3 right. Rocks
Just
inside.
gotta keep it smooth, and you should be fine.
5 left opens into 4
Also
left.
gotta keep our eyes out for those rocks as well, which
right.
will probably cause
right.
interference otherwise if we're
Through chicane.
not keeping our eyes wide open for those.
Care over jump.
And up the hill,
Over
I'm going
crest
to brake
into
for the
two
jump
left
just in
and
case.
2 right.
Had to be cautious there because of
5
the
right over crest into 4 left.
sudden drop
Over jump
and above another jump.
and care over
Also
jump.
pretty sure they have a lot of these in Rally Portugal as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Care through chicane.
You have got to take care on those jumps. Still haven't got over 100 yet.
2 left. 1
I am
right.
being cautious mostly, but at the moment it looks as though it is going to be
1 right.
one of those gravel rallies where
Through chicane.
I take a more consorted effort,
Through water splash and through chicane.
and at the moment
3
my
left. 3 right into 2
strategy of being conservative with the
left. 2
car
right.
seems to be
2
working
left
well,
into 2 right. 1 left and 2 right.
as I am doing my best to
2 right.
formulate how to
3 left.
not damage my car on the gravel, which at the moment is going surprisingly well,
1 left
as
into
I
2 right.
drive through a river.
3 left into 4 right. 2 left into 2 right.
That was only meters away from the wall there, as I get
Through chicane.
a snap or two of oversteer through there,
Through chicane.
and through a
4
chicane,
right. 4 left.
and one sector split to go after this one.
3 right.
Okay,
3 left.
and lost a little bit of time through there, but
Over jump and
Again.
water splash.
I knew that was going to
2
happen,
right.
so glad that wasn't a crust,
Through chicane.
or as some people refer to it as brow.
2 right.
No one was going well until I ran into that rock,
1 right.
although I don't think it caused too much damage to the
2
car,
left.
and just doing over 100,
Clear of the stage.
and I lost another second. But it's fine because I still won in the end by less than 17 seconds.
3, 2, 1, go.
And because this is another day, I need to re-enter my channel initials. And you know what? I think I might just get my replay here whilst I think about it. Because why the hell not? Okay, I think we managed to get 1 or 2 good shots from that. As I hit the guardrail on the left-hand side there. I also quite like how it actually does cause motion blur on the camera shake, which, to be honest, is actually pretty intriguing. But anyway, these are the results, pretty much what you would expect. And everyone makes it through stage 1. And Sebastian wound up being last of the point scorers in 8th for by finishing 8th in stage 1. Don't really think I need to give any more of a description on the rest of the field because, well, it's pretty much the front runners mostly, with Citroën, Subaru and Peugeot basically. As we now head to Villa Arbertina, which is a bit longer, and let's just do it. Okay, time for stage 2.
2, 1.
And here we go, as we're higher up in the mountains than we were before. And hopefully, if we're lucky,
4 left.
we can manage to
3 right into
put
3 left.
together another good run similar to what we put up before. Even though I don't think I'll get through this stage undamaged like I did
2
before.
left into 3 right.
Which, to be honest, did surprise me,
3
but
right into 3
it is
left.
nice to
Ditch
actually
inside. 3 right into
have at
2
least
left.
1
1 left and
or
4
2
right into 3
stages where you
3
know
right.
for once that you've succeeded in
1 right.
not
4 left.
getting your car wrecked.
Long
Which is
3
nice to
right,
have
rocks
from time to
outside.
time because, well,
Tightens. 2 right into long 3 left.
like I said before, I hate being wrecked
1 right into 3 left.
because there's really no pleasure from it.
2
And
right.
to be honest, the benefits
2 left.
you get
into
unless
3
you're
right.
racing for the win and you don't intentionally crash the guy you're racing.
4 left. 4
There's not
left.
really many benefits you can get from it.
4 right.
Plus it will also give you
3 left.
a painful aftershock. Especially if you have a hard impact with a concrete wall,
2 left into 2 right.
or pretty much with an armor barrier, which I have seen a fair share of those over the years. Naturally, of course, when you're a racing fan, you're obviously going to see
4 left.
at least a few
opens into
accidents
2
that
left.
probably will have enormous impacts.
3 right.
Certain ones will be driver error, but other ones will be down to mechanical failures.
3
And if you've
left.
been watching it for
3
10
right
plus
into
years,
1
or
left.
well, in my case 20 plus years,
2 right into
like I
4
have,
left.
then you probably will
2 right
expect
into 3
there
left.
to be some
1
big
left into
accidents
3 right.
that you will
Okay,
inevitably see. And certain impacts will definitely be harder than others.
4 left
Which is
into
partly the
3
reason
right.
why I also like to do these
2 right.
virtual career mode games,
4 right ditch inside.
because you can get a
3
real
right
feel
into
from the
2
car
left.
just by seeing it.
4 left rocks inside.
And you can also tell if whether or not you're
3 left into
driving the
3
car
right.
the way you're supposed to,
4 right into 3 left.
because of how you can just, you know, control the car.
3 left.
And not just because nowadays, well, in the
Chicane.
WRC you're basically committing yourself to
3
what's
right into 2
effectively
left.
four-wheel drive heat-guided missiles
3 left
on narrow,
into
ever-changing
3 right,
road
tightens.
conditions. And
3
also
left.
300
1
horsepower
right into 4 left.
turbocharged engines
2 right.
that
3 left
normally
into 4 right.
you could regard as having 4 or 5 cylinder motors.
3 right ditch inside.
Although nowadays they're technically just 4 cylinder engines for pretty much everyone,
4 right opens into
since
3
the
right.
WRC nowadays basically just has, well, almost getting stuck in the ditch there, but able to spin my wheels out of it.
3 right tightens. Long 3 right.
Because nowadays, of course, well,
Chicane.
in the WRC you mostly
4
see
left
what's
into
effectively
3 right.
well-tuned hatchbacks.
3 left. 3 right into long 3 left.
And to a lot of
4 right
people,
into
the other
4
golden
left.
age in the WRC,
3 left.
which was probably from around,
3 right ditch inside.
I would say,
4 right into 3 left.
probably 1993 up to 2005, I think,
And 3 left, dipped inside.
which is really when
Over jump.
this era of the WRC began, because you had names like Colin McRae and Tommy Mackinnon coming into the game
4 right into 3
and
left.
effectively putting the WRC on global notice again.
2 right and care over jump.
It was pretty much after 2005 when that
Long 2 left.
era basically ended. Although I should also
2
mention
right and
that
4 left.
in the early 90s, after
3
Lancia
right
had
into
won
1 left.
6 straight WRC titles with
2 right
the
into
Delta
long 4
Integrale,
left. 4 left
it was
into 4 right.
basically the Japanese and then eventually the French that came along to effectively dominate the sport most years.
Very long
And
4 right.
somewhere in between, of course, Ford happened to be there as well, considering they do also have a long and storied history when it comes to rallying. That could have been very ugly,
4 right.
but I managed to get it crisis averted.
We're clear of the stage.
Whatever. It's only damage to the rear. It's fine. The rest of my car is still intact
3,
at least,
2,
so,
1,
you know,
go.
it's fine. So it looks like it's going to be the top teams that are once again scoring points, with Subaru, Citroën and Peugeot pretty much becoming the front runners, and everyone is still alive in this rally, as I now have a less than 35-second lead over Solberg, and the 2 Citroëns are down the order, so that at least helps Mitsubishi to maybe get some points back on Citroën, hopefully. Because Subaru is further back. Anyway, let's head to Complejo Pro Racing, as we're driving 6.1 kilometers. Let's go. So I'm pretty sure at this point, much like every other rally up to this point, in the
1 right into 2 left.
Novice Championship, and it's one of the Citroëns we're up against.
2 right into
And this
3
time
left.
we are in the triple-digit speeds, getting close to 120, but
5 right.
not quite in the 120 range.
2 left. Long
And
3
so
left.
far, it looks like
5 left.
we are doing our job pretty well. As
3
I
left.
run into the wall.
Chicane. 1 right. 2 left. 3 right. 2
Lifting
left.
off through there. Really got to tiptoe my way through here because
Long 3 right.
this is gravel after all. Which means the
Long 4 left.
surface will likely be looser as I head over the capital grid and also under the bridge.
Long 4 right.
And keeping it together.
3 right.
Probably
into
don't need
2
to
left.
brake as much for some of these corners, but I am of course being
Very
cautious,
long head left. Care fence outside.
although maybe a little too cautious given the circumstances, because the Citroën is straight up outpacing me at the moment.
1 right into 1 left.
Although I suppose because I've now got the shorter
2
lap,
left into 5 right and 5
I might be able
left.
to make up that distance, doing over 120 hard on the brakes now for these two switchbacks. And now we're closing that gap again, it looks like.
One right and 3 left.
And yep, I knew that was going to happen. Although somehow I managed to get through without damaging my car, which surprises me.
And no chicane.
Probably didn't need to downshift there, but I chose to anyway. So glad that rock didn't stop me dead.
Long 6 left. Overbridge.
You know, doesn't look like I'm going to beat the Citroen, but that doesn't matter because I'm already on my head over the bridge.
Very long, 4
this
left.
long straightaway, almost getting it wrong, but able to keep my car's body intact. And there we go, stage over. With only some minor damage on my left front, and it was Carlos Sainz who I was up against in the Super Special. Okay. Fair enough. That was a lot of fun, to be honest. Especially when it came to those switchbacks, following those long straightaways. That was actually really fun. So, Carlos Sainz finishes P2 in the Super Specials as I set the fastest overall time. Armin Schwartz was P3, followed by Marco Martin P4. Then we had the 3 Peugeots occupying all positions except for 6th, which was taken by Francois Duval. And as everyone made it, not everyone, as Mikko Hirvonen retired in the Super Special. Not quite a full house, but close enough. And as a result of the Super Special, Francois Duval manages to sneak into the points, and both Citroens manage to get 2nd and 5th. As Tommi Mäkinen, who was in the points before, fell down to 11th with his terrible Super Stage run. So, not everyone could finish Argentina, unfortunately. But if it was going to be anyone that was going to be out, it was probably going to be one of the Fords, since they do have more DNFs than just about any other team at the moment in the Novice Championship. Marco Martin, by the way, also had 2 straight DNFs to open up the Novice Championship. Anyway, yeah, woohoo! P1, baby! Again. I will say this podium scene does eventually wear on you after a while. Probably not going to show that every single time. But I now have a 21-point lead over Harry Rovanperä, who now works his way back up into 2nd by a single point. But Citroën are still managing to outgain us in the Constructors' Championship, as Francois Duval now becomes the 13th driver to get points on the board. So more points for Hyundai, more points for Ford. Citroën now has an 8-point gap over Mitsubishi, as Subaru only scores 2. Every team, apart from Skoda, managed to get some points out of there, which is interesting. So I don't think we're winning the Constructors' Championship. I think that's largely unlikely at this point. But anyway, 5 rounds down, 9 rounds to go. Let's now move on to Greece. That's where we're heading next. Greece is next. Onwards to Acropolis.